Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So today's tutorial, we're going to be using a mold number 4 from the Happy Dotting Company. And it's the largest stone mold that I have from Angela. And we're going to do a dotted dragon's eye. So this took me a long time to do. I will tell you right now that the entire video was over an hour and a half. That's right, an hour and 30 minutes of just the video. That's not including drying time and all of that other good stuff. But man, it was a tough one to get down to a reasonable time for you guys to watch. So as I am drawing on my sketch and I'm erasing the little bits and pieces that I don't want, then I redraw again and until I get basically the shapes that I want. And then I start in with some paint. So what I'm going to be doing is the pupil first, and because I want that to be the focal point. So I am using sour apple, Kelly green, and bright yellow for this. So right now I'm putting on the Kelly green, and now I'm coming in with that sour apple color. All of my colors are from DecoArt. In this video, I will also be doing or using some of the FolkArt that is like, they're called flash paints, or they're actually like a what would you call it? Like a color shifting kind of paint. And I use those on the scales, so we'll get to that. Right now, I just really want to get this eyeball done to make him look really cool looking and make it look like it's staring right back at you. So I want to get this blending in nice and perfect. And I want the gradation of the darker green to the yellow to really flow nicely into this. So what I find with this yellow is it's because of the black background, the black comes through. So I have to do this a couple of times, and I end up doing it over the entire pupil part, or like yeah, that's it, the pupil. And then I go back in with black paint and paint over top of it. What I was trying to do was to have it so that it just came up to the little triangle that I had drawn on there. But it didn't seem to work that way. So I just, covered it all over. And that's totally okay, because you can just go back in with your black paint and put in the pupil again. So that's what I do as I am using some of my sponging. So I'm really, yeah, they're my blending brushes, not my sponging brushes. But I go in with that, and now I'm going to let it dry, because I just felt like the more I was trying to blend, the more I was lifting the white or the yellow paint. So I thought I would let it dry and I would move on to something else. So I am doing an outline of the eye in gold, and of course it's my favorite gold, which is Glorious Gold by DecoArt. And I do the top and the bottom just so that I get my eye shape put in with the gold. Now this is a little bit thick, so I will go back in with some black paint and thin it out just a little bit. And then I put in a little bit around the eye so that it's more circular, and you have those little wet bits, I guess, on either side of the eye. And I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, I don't like them, so I do get rid of them eventually, but for now they're going to stay just where they are. But I do paint over them, because once I got it finished, they just didn't look right, so I just painted over top of them. And that's the beauty of doing stuff with acrylic paint, is if you don't like it, just let it dry and then go over top of it. That's why I love working with the acrylic paints. So my acrylic paint stash has become overrun with DecoArt. So I am not sponsored, and I am not given this paint. This is all paint that I purchased on my own, and I have a lot of it. mainly because I discovered that the DecoArt company comes out with color palettes per season. So once I learned this, I was like, oh my gosh. And I just went hog wild. I bought a lot of paint, especially over the Christmas holidays, because everybody knows how much I love to paint. So I received a lot of gift cards and things like that to be able to purchase this paint. So I'm looking forward to using some of the newer colors that I have now in my stash and see what we can make with the really beautiful colors. So I'm excited about that. And I know it's taken me a little while to get back into the flow of things. January is my birthday month. So I was celebrating my birthday at the beginning of the month. Plus, we were just getting over Christmas and all of the holidays and then New Year's and all of that wonderful, fun stuff that you do with family. And I just took a little time for myself and I didn't do a lot of painting. So, and like I said, this one took me a long time and to edit it down into a reasonable watch time for you guys to watch so you don't get bored. It did take me quite some time to do, but I managed to do it and I'm very happy with how it all turned out and I hope you are too. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm actually using my fine lining brush, dipping it into some paint that I have dripped just a little bit of water in it just to make it a little bit more flowy so I don't get chunks or anything like that. And I can make really, really thin lines. So I'm doing a lot of like zigzaggy kind of lines. And these are like the blood vessels, but they're gold in this dragon's eye. So they're a little difficult to see right now, but once this is resined, I'm telling you, these pop right out and they glitter so nicely. Actually, that's a good shot right there, how you can see where they all look like little lightning bolts or lightning strikes coming from the pupil. And I'm just drawing them out with my fine lining brush from the yellow part out into the darker green part. So this is just to give it a little bit more of a definition. And I love doing it this way because it makes it look a little bit more realistic. Even though you're going to be putting on some dots around his eye and using some funky colors that maybe you wouldn't have thought to have used. So you'll see what I mean when we get to that stage. It was a lot of fun to play with colors and to play around with a lot of space on this particular sized rock. So that's why I like doing these dragon eyes on these sizes of rocks, because you have so much room to be able to, you can make it a small little beady eye or a big eye, or you can use different scales or feathers. I've done them in all sorts of different ways. I do dragon's eyes quite often. And dragons are my favorite thing. So, and purple is my favorite color. So we're definitely going to be throwing some purple into this dragon's eye. But that doesn't mean those are the colors that you have to use. You can use whatever color you want to use. Purple's, like I said, my favorite color. I'm drawn to it. And it gives me happiness to be able to paint with my favorite color. But like I said, does not mean that you're stuck with that color as well. You do you. Whatever is your favorite color, it can be blue or pinks or greens or the only thing I do suggest, if you do a green background, to maybe make his eye red or make his eye look maybe yellow or orange, something like that, like a complementary contrast color. And that's when you'll get that eye to really pop out, but still have a nice focus on the actual scales that you choose to do. So this is basically the eyelid, and I'm doing purple Pizzazz. That seems to be my go-to purple. It's one of my favorites, so much so that over the Christmas holidays, I reorganized all my paints because of the new ones that I purchased and realized that I have purchased Purple Pizzazz 3 times because I have 3 jars of it. So I got to start making an inventory, making sure that I don't purchase more of the same color. So that's the purple that I used on around the eyelid, and this is when I get really fun. So I am using the sour apple, and I'm using a finger dauber or finger sponge, and I'm just like blobbing it everywhere. And I'm okay that there's like little circles left. I'm not going to blend this all in. And then I'm going to come in with the Kelly green, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And I'm not covering the entire surface or trying to blend the colors in. What I want to do is I wanted to have a lighter base coat because then that would allow for this darker green, the Kelly green, to come on and not be swallowed up by that black paint underneath. Then I'm coming back in again with the sour apple color, again with my finger dauber, and I'm just letting it sort of plop wherever it wants to. There's going to be some of that dark green coming through, or the darker green, allowing some of the lighter green to shine up on top. And I'm not blending it completely. What I really wanted was to have the mimic of scales. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the edge of my finger sponge, and I'm just putting on a really light coat of that sour apple color in its most purest form. So I'm trying not to get any blending into it with that dark green, with the Kelly green, and it just sort of shapes out the eye even more. And I really like the contrast of the green and then the breakup of the purple and then back to green again. But don't worry, I'm going to be bringing back in some more purple. So it's going to be so fun, and it's going to be amazing. So I had a lot of fun doing this. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I really like to play around with backgrounds and blending colors together, or seeing what I can make with different shapes, just using my tools. So basically, that's all I do for the background on this, and I just let it dry. Most of it is already, so I can rest my hands on it. But now I'm just going in, fixing up that pupil, making it look a little bit sharper, but still allowing some of that yellow to shine on either side of it, sort of around it. And now I'm going to go in and start fixing up everything that I kind of smudged when I was doing my painting or my sponging. So I'm going in with Glorious Gold again. Now this is the same Glorious Gold that I watered down just slightly so that I can get a nice flow to it and not as many bumps, I guess, into it. Like, it is a rather thick paint, and so that's what I do to try to make it a little bit more, I don't know the right word. I keep wanting to say flowy, but I know that's not the technical term of it, but it's to make it slide across the rock and give you a much smoother stroke of the paint, but at the same time keeping it thin and being able to control the paint where you want it to go. So that's why I water it down just a little bit. And now I'm going to go in with some of that purple again, and I'm going to clean up the eyelids that kind of got smudged out a bit when I was sponging, and I do that for the top and the bottom. And then I go in with some black paint so that I can really sharpen up the eye and have that all set up like it's the focal point. That's where you're looking when you look at this rock. But once you look at the eye and then you start looking at everything else that's going on this painting, it just makes it so beautiful. And that's why I love doing the dragon's eyes so much, because you're just focusing on that one part, and you can put as much or as little detail in it as you want. Like, you could even leave the background the way it is right now, and just really focus on the eyeball. There's so many things that you can do with this. It's just so much fun. So, again, I do apologize for the length of this video, but I felt like every step needed to be kept in this. And like I said, it did take me a long time to do. And I'll just tell you right now, though, it was so worth it. And I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. So, I have also noticed that I don't know if people are trying to comment or if they haven't been able to, but I have not been receiving any comments on my videos. So I'm just curious if you could do me a huge favor and just leave me a comment. Actually, the coolest thing would be like, it's my birthday month, so wish me a happy birthday. Or let me know if you like this. That would be really awesome too. But just to let me know that my comments are still working. I know I had issues with it earlier last year, and it was something as simple as I had some of my videos had the settings for made for kids, and that doesn't allow comments. So I just want to make sure that the comments are still getting through to me, and that you are able to continue to comment on my videos. So I would be very, very grateful if you could do that, just to let me know that my comments are working. So now I'm going in and I'm doing my dots. Now I'm going back to the black, and I'm using the tools that I purchased from the Dotting Center. If you're interested in getting your own set, there is a link in the description to her shop and a 10% discount if you use my discount code, and it is listed below as well. So make sure you check out the description of this video. I also have all of the brand names and the actual color names, so that if you do want to use the same, those are available for you there. But I do encourage you to sort of branch out and use your imagination and whatever you have available in your stash, and really make it your own. I'm just here to provide inspiration, maybe to give some tips and tricks, but that's it. I'm doing this because I love to paint, I love to create, and I love to play with color. So I'm just blessed to be able to bring you the content so that you can sit and watch with your coffee in the morning, or maybe you sit down in the evening after you've put the kids to bed or grandkids to bed, or, whatever it is. I'm just so blessed and so happy that you join me every time I post a video. And it just makes me very, very happy and very humble to know that I have such a following. And it is so fun to read your comments, to let me know what you're thinking or how this painting made you feel. So what I've been doing is, after I put on all those dots, I take my this is a fine lining brush that I purchased. I think it was like a package of 100, and they're actually eyeliner brushes. They're disposable, so I can get like 2 or 3 uses out of them before the bristles start to get a little bit yucky. But I'm still using that gold paint, the glorious gold that's been watered down ever so slightly, and I am circling or outlining the dots, just so that I can separate each set of scales from one to the other. So that looks absolutely amazing, and we're still not done. So I've sped up the dotting process, because really we all know how to do that by now. If you don't, I have many, many tutorials to show you how to dot. But I'm not doing a mandala type on this. I'm just putting dots where I want them to be. And you saw that one that I made a mistake. I didn't like the location of it, so I just erased it with a wet cotton swab, and you'd never know that it was there. So I'm doing the exact same thing again. I'm outlining every single dot with the gold paint, but I'm having it not completely circle it. I'm having it sort of like fish scales so that it is touching the gold from the row before it, so that they kind of look like fish scales in a way. So I do this over and over by changing the different size of my dotting tool and just using the black paint and going with the fine lining brush or the eyeliner brush and just sort of going around each one of them with gold paint. And I do this until I run out of space. So obviously up on the top, because I use bigger dots, I ran out of space faster than I did on the bottom, but that's okay. And I just continue on with the same technique over and over. So I do this and then I let it dry because I'm going to come in with some top dots, and those top dots are being applied right now. So these are the FolkArt purple flash that I'm using right now, and the Aqua flash will be on there as well. So you'll notice that I sort of twirl my tool after I have applied a dot, and it's because it's got what I call a snapback. So what that means is that when you pull your tool away from your artwork or whatever you're working on, if you have a lot of paint on there, if you are not pulling away very slowly, you'll end up with these little sort of threads or lines of paint from the dot. And I don't want those all over the place. So in the bigger dots, I do take my time and I twirl my tool so that it ends up being a peak. And when it snaps back, it snaps straight down into the middle and then levels out. So I don't have to worry about it. And I changed the different size tool because what I am doing is all of those black dots that I've put on there are now going to be sort of the outline of each one of the dots. So it's an easier way to do it than trying to outline every single one of them. If you can just imagine, I'd probably go nuts, and this video would be like twice as long. But now I'm just using the Aqua flash, and you'll see that it sort of changes color as I'm moving the stone around. It's got sort of like a two-tone to it. And that's why I chose this Aqua flash, because it's sort of similar to the purple in certain light. So that's why I chose this, and just worked my way all the way around them. And I do that on the bottom as well, but I wanted to do the top first so that I could decide. I was debating about that big top middle black dot there. I was debating about if I should put a jewel there, but I didn't end up doing that, but that's why I left it black, because I thought maybe I could put like something shiny or like a gem or something like that up on the top there, but I didn't like it. I had placed one on there just to have a look to see what it would look like, and it kind of took away from the actual eye. So, and I didn't want to do that. So I do go back in and I do dot it with one of the Aqua. I think it was Aqua I think it was purple, the purple flash. We'll see in a few minutes exactly what color I use. But here I am, I'm still doing all the bottom dots and doing my little swirl so I don't get any of those snapbacks on this elastic paint. So I wanted to say, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And make sure you click that little bell, because it will send you a notification when I do post something new. And I try to post something new every Friday. And I know I've been a little bit slow on that. Oh, look, I'm doing the Aqua. But I have been a little slow on getting my videos out, and only because of the time of year. So don't be too worried about me getting these contents out. I have been working diligently, and I will be getting more videos out for everyone to see. I have been asked by some of my friends why I post on Fridays. And I post Fridays because it's the end of the week. You may want to wind down with just watching a quick video with me. Maybe you want to save it and watch it on the weekend when you're having some downtime. But that's why I post my videos on Friday, to give you the choice of watching it now or watching it later. So let me know if Fridays is a good day for you. Maybe I can change it up to a different day that works for you. I'm interested to know. I mean, I'm here to please you and make sure that you get a chance to watch my content that is most convenient for you. So let me know if Fridays doesn't work, and we can pick a different day. So you watched me put a little light bloop onto the pupil there. And now I'm just sort of doing an edge around, giving the roundness of the eyeball back. And you saw me take out those little gold pieces there that I told you at the beginning of the video that I would be taking out. And I'm just sort of sharpening everything up, going in and cleaning up all of my lines, making them be the shape that I want them to be. And I keep doing this back and forth until I'm happy with it. I wanted to put in a bit of a shadow to have this eyelid sort of over top, hanging over top. So I put in some dark paint. So this is black that I'm using. And I will come in and fix that up a little bit as well. I went over some of my gold paint. And it's just a matter of going back and forth until you're happy with it. I also did the outline of the circle in the gold paint. So I really wanted the eyeball to be the focal point. So that was what was eye-catching. Did you see what I did there? But yes, so that's what draws you into the painting, and then you start looking at all of the smaller details and things like that. So that's what my whole idea was behind this little dragon's eye. So, and like I said, I've painted so many of these, and they sell so quickly for me. And I just love doing them. They're so relaxing for me. If I've been having a bad day, this is what I do. I go and I paint. And most of the time I film them so that I can edit them and bring them to you. One last thing before we wrap up this beautiful dragon eye. I just wanted to ask, I know I've asked in the last few tutorials that I have posted, but I haven't been able to figure out what to do for a monthly series. And I don't know why I can't think of anything, but I just can't. And I would love it if you could help me sort of get out of that rut, and maybe I can do something that is per month. It doesn't even have to be like something that resembles that month or the season or whatever, but I'm just looking at doing something that is the same but different, if that makes sense. So if you wanted to look at any of my other mini series that I do for the monthly series, I do have them all listed in those year in review videos that I have posted as well. So you can always go and check those out if you're new. But just let me know. I'm just finishing this off with some little white bloops, just using some white paint, and it gives it that illusion that the light is shining off of the wetness of the eye. Just looks so cool. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.